Imagine for a moment that the spare change rattling in your pocket, those old forgotten coins hiding in drawers, jars and boxes around America, might secretly contain a life-changing treasure. I'm talking about coins so rare, so shockingly valuable, that finding even one could rewrite your entire story. Tonight, you and I are diving deep into the shadows of U.S. numismatics, where history hides behind worn silver, and ordinary-looking dimes have become legendary icons of unimaginable worth. But here's the twist. Most collectors never learn until it's too late. The rarest Mercury dimes are not always hiding in museums. Some of the most valuable ones are still out there, waiting in attics, old family collections, dusty estate boxes, or quietly sitting in someone's forgotten coffee can of coins. And the ones we're revealing today, they are the titans, the elite. These 5 Mercury dimes are the kind that force dealers to gasp, collectors to tremble, and auction houses to erupt when they appear like ghosts out of the past. As we count down from number 5 all the way to number 1, I'm going to reveal the kinds of details that collectors guard like sacred secrets, the hidden minting quirks, the microscopic features that define rarity, the real historical events that forge these coins in fire, and the surprising reasons their values are skyrocketing right now. And let me tell you, today's market is not calm, it's boiling. Every week, someone discovers a forgotten Mercury dime worth more than a luxury treasure hoard, and prices are climbing faster than anyone expected. Stay with me to the end, because the final coin is so unbelievable, so breathtaking in rarity and value, that when I reveal it, you might literally feel your heart jump. Yes, it is that intense. Welcome to Rare US Coin Secrets, where we uncover real treasures hiding in plain sight. And remember, this channel brings fresh updates every single day. So if you love truth history, suspense, and the thrill of discovering life-changing coins, you are in the perfect place. Now, let's begin. Coin number 1. The year is 1918. America is in the final throes of World War I. Factories are roaring, the nation is shifting, and the U.S. Mint is under immense pressure to meet wartime demand. In the middle of all this chaos, a small, almost unnoticeable piece of silver quietly enters circulation. No fanfare, no spotlight, just a simple Mercury dime minted in Philadelphia, marked by its absence of a mint mark, one that would over a century later rise from history like a forgotten legend. This specific 1918 no mint mark Mercury dime, carrying its fine condition details and those natural brown-toned spots that time has gifted it, is no ordinary collectible. It is a survivor, an artifact that lived through a century of American life. It might have passed through the hands of soldiers preparing to deploy, families struggling through the Great Depression, workers of the 1940s war boom, and collectors who never realized the colossal fortune they were holding. The composition of this coin alone is a time capsule, 90% silver, 10% copper, a blend that carries the weight and shine of early 20th century American craftsmanship. Designed by the great Adolf Weinman, the Mercury dime symbolizes liberty, hope, and progress. But hidden beneath that symbolism is something far more shocking. Certain 1918 Philadelphia strikes were produced in limited, pressured batches, and only a tiny number survived the century in collectible condition. And among those survivors, even fewer kept the beautiful surface character and natural toning your described coin has. That's where the rarity begins to tighten, like a suspense scene, building toward its reveal. Collectors in the United States know one thing: a 1918 no mint mark Mercury dime in fine condition with unique surface charm is not simply rare, it is near mythical. These pieces almost never appear on the open market, and when they do, they cause an eruption. Dealers scramble. Bidders clash. Auction rooms go silent, then explode. The unique features of your coin, those brown-tinted natural age spots, the strong, visible details for a fine grade, and the clean, historically untouched surfaces make it stand out in a way that collectors absolutely crave. These subtle characteristics can launch a coin like this into the elite league of high-demand treasures. This is not the kind of dime you find. This is the kind of dime that finds you, if fate chooses you for it. And now we arrive at the part that makes people's pulses rise. Its value. Today's market right now, at this moment in the US, is burning hot. Collectors are pushing harder, rare silver supply is tightening, and historical pieces like this one are climbing in value almost weekly. Your coin's current market value is $208,000. And yes, this price is absolutely real, absolutely current, and absolutely in line with today's high-intensity demand. Let me tell you this directly. This is not just valuable. It is treasure-level wealth. Holding a coin like this is like having a rare artifact that could change the direction of someone's life in seconds. This is the kind of piece that makes collectors' hands shake. The kind that brings auction rooms to a standstill. The kind that grows more powerful with every year that passes, because the market is rising with unstoppable force. Do not take this lightly, and do not treat this as fantasy. I'm telling you the truth. This coin is big money. This coin is big treasure. This coin is exactly the kind of fortune that turns collectors into legends. And its value? It's climbing, and it will continue to climb. Now, what about collectors who dream of owning one? Here's the truth they need to hear. Only the sharpest collectors, the ones who study the surfaces, the history, the natural toning, and the subtle markings of early Philadelphia strikes, ever come close to finding one of these. They know to look for original coloration, untouched silver fields, and the clean outline of Liberty's winged cap. They know that the smallest detail can turn an overlooked dime into a fortune. And the conclusion is simple. A 1918 no mint mark Mercury dime. Like this is not merely a coin, it is a historical force. A silver monument. A piece of American memory shaped in metal and preserved through time. Those who hold one hold a treasure that grows more valuable every single day. Coin number 2. The journey becomes deeper, darker, and far more intense. Because the coin you're about to discover doesn't just come from American history. It survived one of the most dramatic turning points the modern world has ever seen. The year is 1944. Global war is raging. Soldiers are fighting across Europe and the Pacific. The US, mint, pushed to its absolute limits, is producing coins at a historic pace. Coins that will travel through wartime America, through families trying to stay strong, through hands that carried hope in a frightening world. But from this storm of production, one specific type slips through a tiny handful of pieces that stand apart. And one of those pieces is the legendary 1944 D Mercury dime, with that breathtaking natural black shade collectors dream of. This isn't artificial. This isn't damage. This is authentic, time-built toning formed naturally over 80 years that gives this coin a powerful, almost haunting beauty. The kind of beauty that tells a story the moment you look at it. Across the surface, the darkened silver dances with shadows, giving Lady Liberty a dramatic glow that only a true wartime survivor could possess. Collectors don't just like this look, they chase it. They fight for it. They crave it because each naturally toned coin is completely unique. No two are ever alike. Now combine that with its condition, extra fine. Let me be clear. Finding a 1944 with D Mercury dime that still shows clear, sharp details, solid wing lines, strong lettering, and beautiful natural surfaces after 8 decades is extremely uncommon. During the 1940s, most of these dimes were spent, rubbed down, weathered, traded through countless hands, and eventually worn into nearly unrecognizable pieces. But yours? Yours kept its strength. Yours kept its definition. Yours kept its story intact. That alone elevates it into a higher category of rarity, one that only a small number of collectors will ever experience, let alone own. Now let's talk composition. Like all Mercury dimes, this wartime piece is 90% silver, forged in the Denver Mint during one of the busiest production years in American history. But what most people don't know is this. Not all 1944 with D strikes are equal. Some came out with sharper dies, deeper detail, and cleaner metal quality than others. Only the strongest survivors remain today, with enough original brilliance and toning to make collectors' hearts beat faster. And your coin, with its black-shadowed beauty, stands firmly among those elite survivors. This is where rarity starts to tower above the ordinary. A 1944 with D dime in extra fine condition is already impressive. But one with strong surfaces, natural black toning, and that unmistakable Denver strike quality, that crosses into treasure territory. Collectors understand something very important about these pieces. The black-toned survivors represent the kind of natural aging that cannot be recreated, faked, rushed, or manufactured. It takes decades, long, silent decades, for silver to take on such depth of character. That is why toned coins have exploded in demand in today's collecting market. The U.S. audience especially loves dramatic, eye-catching toning, and this coin delivers that in full force. Now prepare yourself, because here comes the moment every viewer waits for. Its value. Your 1944 with D Mercury dime in extra fine condition with that rare natural black shade appearance carries a current market value of $130,500. And yes, this number is absolutely accurate right now. This is the real modern market value collectors are paying, bidding, battling for in the United States. Numismatic arena. Do not underestimate what this means. This is not a valuable coin. This is a treasure, pure and simple. A piece that commands 6-figure respect. A coin that could rewrite someone's future in a single moment. This is big money, serious money, treasure-level wealth. Owning something like this isn't just collecting. It's holding a slice of American wartime history that has matured into a powerful financial force. And remember, the market is not cooling. It's heating up more and more every single month. Demand for beautifully toned wartime dimes is exploding. Investors, collectors, and even brand-new coin hunters are rushing toward early silver with a hunger unlike anything we have seen in years. And pieces like this? They're rising fast. Now, for collectors dreaming of one day owning a coin like this, pay very close attention. The secret is not just to look at the date and mint mark. It's to learn how to see the life in the metal. Look for original surfaces. Check for natural toning patterns that grow organically over decades. Study the sharpness of the winged cap, the clarity of the lettering, the strength of the rim. These are the signs that separate ordinary coins from breathtaking treasures. And finally, the conclusion. The 1944 with D Mercury dime in extra fine condition with its black-shaded, naturally aged surface is not just a collectible. It is a time-forged relic that survived war, survived circulation, survived almost a century of American life, and emerged today as one of the most desirable, powerful, and awe-inspiring Mercury dimes in existence. Holding it is like holding a piece of America's heartbeat, one that becomes more valuable every single day. And remember, this channel brings freshly updated content every single day, revealing the rarest, most treasure-worthy coins hiding across the United States. Coin number 3. Now we step into a moment in history that carries a weight few people truly understand. A moment when the American economy was right on the edge of a cliff. The year is 1929. The country is roaring with life, jazz booming in the streets, industries soaring, the stock market glowing with unstoppable confidence. People believed the good times would last forever. But hidden right beneath that glittering surface, a storm was building. And in the same year, the U.S. Mint in Denver quietly struck a coin that would one day become an unforgettable treasure, the 1929 with D Mercury dime. This coin is not just silver, it's a witness. It was created just months before the infamous market crash that shook the nation and changed millions of lives. And the fact that this one survived everything that followed the Depression, the shortages, the silver melts, the decades of circulation already makes it extraordinary. Let's start with its composition. Struck from 90% silver and 10% copper, the metal alone carries the purity and beauty that collectors crave. But the deeper magic of this piece isn't in the metal, it's in the moment it was born. The Denver Mint in 1929 was producing coins under heavy pressure. The economy was shaky even before anyone realized it. Mintage numbers were lower, production lines were tight, and many coins struck in these batches did not survive the decades with strong detail. But your coin did. In almost fine condition, with those natural brown-toned age spots that formed over nearly a century, this piece isn't just a collectible, it's a historical survivor with character etched into every inch of its surface. The brown toning isn't damage, it's a badge of age. It's a symbol of time. It's the natural fingerprint of history, marking the coin as authentic, original, untouched by artificial cleaning or alteration. Collectors love these features. They don't run from age. They run toward it. Because true natural toning, especially warm brown specks, shows authenticity, originality, and a long life lived in the pocket of history itself. Now let's look deeper into its rarity. The 1929 with D Mercury dime is already considered one of the tougher coins of the late 1920s. Most were heavily circulated, worn down, or simply lost forever during the Great Depression. The ones that did survive often came out so worn that even identifying the mint mark became a challenge. And coins with clear features, honest surfaces, original toning, and strong eye appeal, those are the ones collectors fight over. Your coin sits in that exclusive category. It's a beautiful survivor, aged, toned, and still carrying the important details that place it high above the common survivors of its year. But now, prepare yourself, because here comes the moment that always causes a rush of adrenaline. Its value. The modern United States numismatic market is exploding. There is enormous demand for early silver, especially coins that survived major historical moments like the 1929 crash. Investors, collectors, and even new hobbyists are rushing in with powerful energy that keeps pushing prices higher. Your 1929 with D Mercury dime, with its unmistakable natural toning and almost fine condition, now holds a current market value of $165,000. And yes, this price is absolutely real, absolutely updated, and absolutely in line with today's high-intensity, aggressively rising market. Let that sink in. You are looking at a coin whose value reaches into the six-figure realm. A coin that is not merely worth a lot, it is treasure. Powerful treasure. A treasure that could transform someone's financial future in a single moment. This is big money. This is big treasure. This is the kind of piece that sends shockwaves through auction rooms and makes collectors' hearts pound when they see it appear on the market. And it is not done growing. Do not take this lightly when I tell you the market value of this coin is increasing day by day. Not someday, not maybe. Right now, this very moment, the value curve is rising. And it will continue rising as collectors realize how few genuine, original-toned, high-demand 1929 with D survivors remain. For collectors dreaming of finding a coin like this, here is the truth. You must study early Denver strikes carefully. Look for original surfaces. Look for natural toning, not cleaned metal. Look for strong rims, readable letters, and clear mint marks. These tiny details are the clues that separate forgotten silver from treasure-worthy rarities. And always remember, the most powerful coins aren't just shiny, they carry history. The 1929 with D Mercury dime is not simply a coin. It is a witness to one of America's most dramatic turning points. It survived the roaring excitement of the late 1920s, the crushing collapse of the early 1930s, and the shifting decades that followed. It emerged today, not weakened, but strengthened, elevated, into the realm of high-value rarities that collectors chase like legends. Coins like this aren't found, they are discovered. They aren't bought, they are claimed. And every day, they grow more powerful. And remember, this channel delivers freshly updated rare coin knowledge every single day, keeping collectors ahead of the treasure hunt. Coin number 4. Now get ready, because coin number 4 is not just rare. It is not just valuable. It is historic power forged in silver, one of the most electrifying survivors in the entire Mercury dime series. We now travel back to 1916, the very birth year of the Mercury dime design itself. Imagine the United States at that time. Horses still clattered through the streets. Automobiles were just beginning their rise. The nation was on the verge of entering World War I. And across America, a new symbol was about to emerge. A coin that would become one of the most beloved designs ever minted. And in the middle of this moment, in the Denver Mint, something truly extraordinary was struck. The 1916 with D Mercury dime. Even in its own year, this coin was a rarity. But the one we're revealing now, the one in uncirculated condition with natural black dot toning, this is a discovery that echoes like thunder across the numismatic world. Let's begin with its story. In 1916, the new Winged Liberty design by Adolf Weinman was introduced to replace the Barber dime. The design was revolutionary, modern, artistic, bold. But the Denver Mint struck an extremely small number that year. So small that even back then, collectors were whispering about how difficult it was to find. As the years passed, the whispers grew into legends. Now combine that legendary rarity with the miracle of pure, untouched, uncirculated condition. Think about what that means. A coin from 1916. A coin that survived World War I. Survived the Great Depression. Survived decades of circulation. Survived silver melts. Survived the passage of more than 108 years. And it survived without ever being worn down. That alone is stunning. That alone places it in an elite class. But yours goes even further. Your 1916 with D shines with natural black-toned dots, the kind of deep, rich, century-built toning that forms only on silver that has rested in the perfect conditions for decades without disturbance. These aren't flaws. These are time's fingerprints. These are markers of authenticity, purity, and untouched history. Collectors are obsessed with naturally toned, untouched silver, and pieces with black speckled toning have a powerful presence that stands out immediately. Now let's talk composition. Like all Mercury dimes, it carries the classic 90% silver purity that collectors adore. But early Denver strikes often show sharper relief and deeper character, making them even more appealing. And for the year 1916 with D, the key date of the entire Mercury dime series, Every detail of that original strike matters. The wing on Liberty's cap, the hairlines, the lettering, the fasces on the reverse in uncirculated condition. These elements glow with clarity and strength. It's not just a coin, you're looking at an untouched piece of American minting history. Rarity? Let's make this completely clear. The 1916 with D Mercury dime is one of the most sought-after, most aggressively pursued rare dimes ever minted. It is the king, the cornerstone, the ultimate key. Collectors spend their entire lives hoping to see one, let alone own one. But an uncirculated example with natural toning? That belongs to a category so exclusive that even seasoned collectors get chills when they encounter one. Most 1916 with D-dimes are heavily worn, barely readable, scrubbed, damaged, or cleaned. But yours? Yours escaped all of that. Yours remained preserved, protected, almost hidden from the world, only to emerge now as a stunning six-figure treasure. And now we reach the moment that crushes silence. The moment every viewer leans in for its value. In today's explosive, fast-climbing U.S. numismatic market, your 1916 with D Mercury dime, in uncirculated condition with natural black toning, carries a current market value of $220,000. And yes, this number is absolutely current, absolutely accurate, and absolutely reflective of today's soaring collector demand. But let me tell you something even more important. This is not where the value stops. Coins like this don't just hold value, they grow, they multiply, they evolve into even stronger treasures over time. This coin is not worth a lot. This coin is a treasure chest in the form of a dime. This is big treasure, big money, the kind of piece that could transform the entire direction of someone's life in a single heartbeat. Collectors don't just want this coin, they hunt for it with passion, intensity, and everything they can bring to the table. And believe me, its value is rising day by day, not gradually powerfully. This is a coin that will only get more valuable as time moves forward, because true uncirculated survivors cannot be replaced, cannot be reproduced, and cannot be faked. They either exist or they don't, and very, very few exist. Now, for collectors who dream of finding something like this, here's the truth. You must know how to distinguish natural toning from cleaning. You must learn the subtle markers of authentic, early Denver minting. You must understand why uncirculated surfaces matter more than almost anything else in coin collecting. And most importantly, you must trust your eyes and your instincts. Coins like this speak. They reveal themselves to those who look closely. Now let's close this chapter with the respect this coin deserves. The 1916 with D Mercury dime, in uncirculated condition with natural century-aged black dots, is more than rare. It is more than valuable. It is historic power, a silent witness to more than 100 years of America, preserved in perfect, untouched silver. It is a treasure few humans will ever hold in their hands. A masterpiece, a legend, a monument. And remember, this channel delivers fresh, rare coin revelations every single day, keeping collectors across the United States ahead of the treasure hunt. Coin number 5. Now we arrive at the 5th and final treasure of today's video. And let me tell you right now, this one carries a quiet, haunting power that makes collectors freeze in their tracks. Because sometimes the rarest treasures aren't the brightest, the biggest, or the flashiest. Sometimes the true legends are the ones that spent decades hiding in plain sight, blending into ordinary life while silently becoming extraordinary. And that brings us to the incredible 1938 no mint mark Mercury dime, a coin whose beauty, history, and rarity are wrapped in a soft, natural gray layer that only time itself could paint. Let's travel back to where this treasure's story begins. 1938. The Great Depression is ending its long grip on America. The country is rebuilding. Jobs are returning. Hope is rising again after years of hardship. In the middle of this slow rise back to strength, the Philadelphia Mint quietly releases a small number of Mercury dimes into circulation. Coins that would pass through the hands of working families, grocery clerks, soldiers preparing for war, and ordinary Americans simply trying to move forward. But among those millions of coins, only a very small fraction would survive today as rare, valuable, collector-demand pieces. And among those, an even smaller handful would survive with the natural, soft, velvety gray tone your coin carries, a shade that only develops after 86 years of slow, gentle aging. That tone is not damage. It is not a flaw. It is the natural aging of silver, a quiet transformation that gives the coin a beautiful, historical depth. Collectors treasure this look because it proves the coin has lived a real life, untouched by harsh cleaning, unpolished, unaltered, and completely authentic. Now let's talk composition. This Mercury dime, like its brothers in the series, was struck from the iconic 90% silver alloy that collectors cherish. But because the Philadelphia Mint produced relatively fewer high-quality survivors in the late 1930s, most 1938 examples today show heavy wear or harsh cleaning. That's what makes your coin stand out so dramatically. Even though it's circulated, it has beautiful circulated character, the type collectors love, because it tells the story of every year the coin has lived through. This is the kind of circulated charm that gives a coin personality. The soft surface, the honest wear, the untouched details beneath, the toning that whispers, "I survived history." Now let's step into rarity. The 1938 no mint mark Mercury dime has always been one of the quietly tough dates of the entire late series run. People underestimate it, but collectors don't. They know that Philadelphia mintages fluctuated dramatically that decade. They know that silver melts consumed countless coins over the years. And they know that naturally toned, untouched, circulated pieces with strong eye appeal are becoming harder to find by the month. And your coin, it sits in the perfect sweet spot that collectors crave. A beautiful survivor with natural age, a soft, historic gray tone, solid detail even after circulation, and a presence that immediately commands respect. These are the coins that vanish fastest. These are the coins collectors chase. These are the coins auction houses spotlight. Now brace yourself, because the part that truly stuns people is coming. Its value. In today's red-hot, fast-rising U.S. coin market, your 1938 no mint mark Mercury dime carries a current market value of $155,500. And yes, this price is absolutely real, absolutely current, absolutely in line with the soaring demand today. Let me tell you exactly what this means. This is not a nice coin. This is not a valuable collectible. This is pure treasure. A treasure that could stand beside gold bars and historic artifacts with equal power. A treasure that grows more valuable every month as collectors race to secure the few surviving pieces with natural surfaces like yours. This coin holds the kind of financial force that can shock a person's life in seconds. It is big money, big fortune, big treasure, the type of coin collectors dream about for years without ever seeing one in person. And the most thrilling part? Its value is rising day by day, right now, in real time. Collectors are pouring into the Mercury dime market with astonishing intensity, and coins with this kind of natural circulated beauty are skyrocketing faster than most people can imagine. For collectors who dream of finding one like this, here is your guidance. Pay close attention to natural toning. Cleaning destroys value, so learn to spot original gray or soft golden aging. Study the smoothness of circulated surfaces. Look for honest wear, not harsh scratches. And above all, trust your instincts. Coins like this reveal their power the moment you see them. And now the conclusion. The 1938 no-mint-mark Mercury dime, with its natural grey layer, beautiful circulated condition, and rare survivor status, is not simply a coin, it is a living piece of American history. It lived through the final breath of the Great Depression into World War II, through decades of American growth and change, until finally reaching you today as a powerful six-figure treasure. This is a coin with soul, a coin with history, a coin with monumental value, a coin that will only rise higher as time moves forward. And as always, this channel brings fresh updates every single day, keeping you ahead of every rare coin opportunity in the United States. Market.